It's been a slow start for Australia's vaccine rollout, but in Murray Bridge, just outside Adelaide, the pace is picking up.
Most of our patients are over 70 and others are those in the high risk group with chronic conditions, but most of these are the elderly patients.
Amid delays in the system, the Commonwealth has added 100 respiratory clinics like this one across the country.
I think we're certainly optimistic we can reach the targets, but it'll depend on the locations and the supply, but I think it's achievable.
But the rollout has been uneven, with some patients unable to find appointments through the government's website, and some GPs caught unaware or lacking information.
No call off these symptoms? No. And just a face mask.
We are actually authorised to give the COVID vaccines. We aren't actually getting them for about another 3 to 4 weeks.
And some GP clinics that are part of Phase 1B have been overwhelmed by frustrated patients.
We were swamped. It was quite a challenging time for our team, having to manage patient expectations.
Hello.
Good there. How are you?
You're here to see Dr. Davies today?
Yes.
Today, yes. I knew that everybody would be ringing down here and just harassing the people here, and I thought, well, we'll just wait a little bit because it has to calm down.
For Bev and Ernie Speed, the vaccine will mean more freedoms after life in lockdown. Both are in their 80s.
Because we're in such a vulnerable stage of our life, I think it's important that we have it.
We've missed out on 2 good trips back to England, and no, I'm looking forward to get it.
But they'll have to wait because their trusted GP isn't starting to vaccinate for weeks.
It didn't occur to me that it was going to be longer.
That's because GP clinics are starting at different stages. About 1,000 clinics begin this week, rising to more than 4,500 over the next month or so.
This is our new treatment room that will host the COVID vaccinations.
This clinic at West Ryde in Sydney's northwest is part of the rollout, but wasn't listed on the government's website, causing confusion among patients.
Because we weren't involved in the first week of rollout, it sort of appeared to patients that we weren't a part of the scheme. So I think that's been the highest level of concern from our patients.
Vaccinations here will start in April.
On the left is a new vaccination fridge in anticipation for our COVID-19 vaccinations.
It's not full at the moment.
It's currently got plenty of space. We are anticipating a receipt of our vaccines in approximately 3 weeks' time. We're expecting 50 doses a week.
Is that enough?
We would love to have more doses. It will not be sufficient for our patient population. It could have been better managed by explaining the timing and the stages a bit better. Patients do want to know which part of the process they are in. People are anxious about when they can get the vaccine.
In other parts of the country, there are no vaccine clinics just yet, and in Katherine in the Northern Territory, residents are having to drive for hours to Darwin.
It's a 3-hour trip virtually, and if you're just going up for that, you didn't have anything else to do, it's a 6-hour trip, or a plus waiting time. For us, it's just a nuisance to think that we have to go to Darwin to get the so-called jab.
NT Health has told 730 there are plans for community clinics in Katherine in the coming weeks. The government is trying to manage its big promise of having Australia fully vaccinated by October and the reality of a shortfall of 3 million doses from overseas. The hope now is to have at least the first dose of the vaccine completed by then, with local production at CSL's Melbourne plant adding to supply.
We need better messaging. Hey, the vaccine is still in short supply. We need to do this properly. And yes, you're next in the queue, but that queue may take a month or 2 before you actually get to the front of it, so to speak.
Again, I do want to emphasise the need for patience. It is going to take us some time to vaccinate 6 million people in Phase 1B. We do not have community transmission in Australia. We have the time to do it properly. We're not going slowly, we're going as quickly as we can get vaccines.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you. Thank you.
For now, the Speeds in Sydney are content to take it slowly, heeding the government's message.
These things don't happen overnight, and I'm happy enough to wait.
Just get you to have a seat there, Belinda. Thank you. You having your bed
It doesn't mean you have to all do it tomorrow. We've got time on our hands, and I think all the available data is once we have 1 million doses a week being produced in Melbourne, we will be able to vaccinate everybody we need to vaccinate before the end of this year in Australia.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.